Kaleidoscope. All right, now it's time for Kaleidoscope, where we take a look at different people through a different perspective. And joining us in the studio right now today is the very handsome and tall Dan Nabben. Dan, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, great to have you back in the studio.
I'm glad to be back.
Yes. Now, this is my first time with you, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. But you've been here a couple times before.
Right.
Yeah. Now, so Dan, you have been doing a lot of work with Jeju Furey. You've pretty much founded the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what is the latest news for our Furey fans?
Latest news is we are having a professional beach volleyball player come down to Jeju next Wednesday, and her name is Han Ji-yeon, and she's going to do a clinic for girls for beach volleyball every day from Wednesday to Saturday in the afternoon from 5 to 7:30, and it's free. And it's a chance for girls, Korean girls in particular, to learn the sport and to get used to it and be familiar with it and try and enjoy it. And on top of that, on the Sunday, she's going to join us in a tournament. So we're going to have a one-day tournament on Sunday, and it should be a blast.
Oh, it sounds like it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
So a volleyball clinic,
Yeah.
That's sort of like a workshop, right?
Right. You come in and you work on what you need to work on. So for the most part, beginners are going to work on their basic skills, bumping, setting, serving, that kind of thing.
Okay. All right. So this will be strictly for beach volleyball, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Not court volleyball or...
No, beach volleyball.
Okay. So what are some of the different dynamics between beach and indoor court volleyball?
The jumping, for one, moving on sand it's quite a bit slower than moving on a normal floor. So you're not as quick. You can't get as high up in the air. But you can dive and not get hurt. So there's some fun parts too.
Yeah, because when you dive on a court, I mean, you can get some serious road rashes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, but I mean, with sand though, I mean, getting sand in your mouth and your teeth, in your eyes. I once got a sty infection.
Right.
So, there are some things that you do have to be careful.
Definitely.
About, right?
Got to wear some sunglasses, maybe. Try not to open your mouth when you're diving in.
Yeah, that would not be a good idea.
No.
Yeah, get a mouthful of sand.
No.
Not too appetizing. Okay, so this clinic, it's going to be every single day. Now, this is for women only, I believe.
Right.
Okay, so if I'm a gal and I'm going to the Wednesday clinic,
yeah,
does that prohibit me from going to Thursdays?
Not at all. No, go for as long as you want, to as many as you want. Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Or sorry, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's for Korean speakers.
Correct.
Okay. So you have to speak Korean to go to that, right?
Yes, because there won't be translation on the evening clinics. There won't be any translation. Now, I should say that the Saturday evening session is full. So that's no longer available. However, for English speakers, we have a morning session on Saturday from 10 to 11:30.
Oh, okay. So there is that option for English speakers.
Yes.
There will be some for women English speakers.
Yeah.
Yes. Is there a reason why you chose only women?
Yes, because that's the hardest demographic to recruit. We've been doing this this is our fourth year, and there will be our 9th, 10th tournament coming up, and we always have more than enough guys to fill out these teams. We have 3 guys and 3 girls on a team. And it's the problem is always getting enough girls. Teams are always signing up with 1 or 2 girls, but missing a second or third. So this is a chance to introduce girls to the sport, and in a safe environment. They don't have to be good. It's not competitive. They can be alpha beginners, and it's no problem. And they're gonna get excellent. I mean, the best instruction, right? It's a pro. So the setting's it's perfect for people who want to start off and they don't want to be under any kind of pressure at all.
Yes. So it sounds like it's going to be a great experience, a great opportunity for a lot of people. How popular is beach volleyball here in Jeju?
Well, that's relatively speaking, it's not popular. I would say 99% of people don't play it or don't even know about it. However, it's very popular among the people who do play it. The people who do play it want to play it a lot, and they do. And the tournament, we have 2 big tournaments every year. It's grown. It's doubled since 2009, and it keeps growing, and we keep getting a lot more people in, and it hasn't slowed down in 3 years.
All right. Well, before we go on, I just need to remind our listeners, if you have any questions about beach volleyball or even signing up for this clinic, please feel free to message us on our message boards or send us a text message, and I'll be more than happy to ask Dan your questions. So Dan, moving on here. We talked a little bit about the beach volleyball thing. Let's talk a little bit more about Han Jian. How did you get in touch with her?
Well, it's funny because you were asking him how popular is beach volleyball, and I was getting a little maybe even frustrated that there just wasn't beach volleyball in Korea. And I couldn't understand why. I had gone on a motorbike trip with my friend up the coast, and we saw a lot of beaches. We saw a lot of beach volleyball nets. So how come we're not getting these people coming to Jeju for the tournament? So I did a search on the internet, and I found a couple clubs, and I found a couple groups, and that was great. But this one name kept coming up, this Han Jian name. So I clicked on it and saw that this is a pro, and I thought, well, I can find her web page, emailed her, and then it went from there.
Oh, wow. So you just emailed her?
Just emailed her all the details, all the information I could possibly give her. I sent her in a package email and hoped.
So how long did this whole thing take to set up? Because I'm guessing it probably took some while.
Yeah, I guess it did. Let's say it was mid-April when I first contacted her, and it didn't get settled until the end of June. We didn't really have a final decision until the end of June.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So the flight has been booked. She's going to be joining us here on the island very soon.
Very soon.
Are there a lot of spots left open?
For Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's a little under half. So, I just checked before I got here, and we had a couple more university students just sign up. So it's
awesome.
Yeah. It's getting there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I remember reading correctly, the sign-ups from that was because of some of the advertising you guys have been doing. That's
right. We have some fantastic volunteers who are putting up posters around Jeju. And I got really excited because when you fill out the form, you can click how you found out about the tournament or the clinic. And these people clicked poster, and I thought, wow, that's awesome. So I called right away. I said, which poster and where? And they told me the university. I said, is there any other connection to beach volleyball or Jeju Furey? They said, no, we saw the poster. We thought it was cool. And okay, perfect. It's working. The advertisement's working. It's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they're going to be bringing their friends along too, or
they are absolutely. Just before I got here, another one signed up. No, two more signed up.
Two more signed up. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's 4 now.
Congratulations. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And hey, if any of our listeners want to sign up right now, that website once again,
jejufurey.weebly.com. Spell that out. JEJUFUREY.WEEBLY.com.
Okay, jejufurey.weebly.com.
Yeah.
Okay, and they could sign up there. And is it in Korean or in English?
Both.
It's in both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all set.
So there's no excuse.
There's no excuse, Joseph. No excuse. You don't have to be tall. You don't have to wear a bikini. You don't have to have any experience. You don't have to worry about the sun. It's later in the day. Everyone's a beginner. We've taken away all the excuses, hopefully.
Okay. You mentioned nobody has to wear a bikini.
Don't have to, no. And I don't think anyone's going to either.
Okay, that's something I think that's very important that our listeners understand, that a lot of people who play professional beach volleyball, women, would wear a bikini just because it's so much more easier for them to move around.
Right.
But of course, this clinic, even though the pro is coming, you don't have to wear one.
No, it's not serious. We're not playing in the hot sun and whatever else would require bikini wearing. You don't need it.
Yes, but you might need a little sunscreen.
You might need a little sunscreen. Yep, sure.
Yeah. At that time, the sun is just about going to start heading down.
Right,
but not yet. So bring a little sunscreen. Anything else that they should bring?
They should bring, just a great attitude. Just great attitude, and you're ready to have some fun, and you're going to have fun if you bring that kind of attitude like that. Yeah.
Okay. So will things like snacks and water be provided, or no? You got to bring that too. Then?
Yeah.
Okay. So bring plenty of water because I'm sure you're going to be getting quite a workout.
Right. Well, yes and no. I mean, volleyball is not a running sport, not like soccer or basketball or something. So it doesn't take too much out of you. But yeah, I mean, if it's hot and the sand's hot, then you can work up a sweat. And
okay.
Water.
All right. Sounds good. Well, we're going to actually talk more with Dan about beach volleyball and about the workshop that's coming up in the very near future. But right now it's time for another song break. So if you have any questions for Dan, please send them in right now, and we'll get those to Dan, and then he'll answer them for you. But right now, we've got to listen to a little Randy Newman and We Belong Together. All right, and we are back with Dan Nabben, and we're talking a little beach volleyball. Now, you mentioned that this is only for women,
Yeah.
and that recruiting has been a bit difficult in the past
Right.
for the tournaments.
Right.
So, and we also mentioned that beach volleyball is not really a very, very popular sport here.
Right.
I think probably more people are interested in figure skating.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. So what is the next step to maybe bring beach volleyball to the next level?
Right. Okay. Well, let's go back to where we come from. Like we play back home when I was in grade school. I played volleyball as part of a yearly program. So you played volleyball in the fall, and then you played basketball. Then you went to track and soccer and all these things. So you're introduced to all these sports.
Right.
They don't have that. At least in Jeju, for the most part, volleyball is not part of one of those sports you'll learn throughout your school years.
Oh.
So
okay.
Whereas back home, I never played beach volleyball really because we don't have a beach and we don't have that kind of a setting. But I know how to play volleyball, so it translated very well. And I saw it on TV or whatever, so you can apply that. Mm-hmm. But if you don't even have the gymnasium volleyball,
right?
Then yeah, you have a tough hill to climb. So we have to introduce this completely new sport basically to people who aren't playing it, and then at the same time say, come out and play in tournaments and come out and learn and it's in the sun and it's a long day, but it's fun, and all these things they have to accept on faith. So part of the reason of doing this clinic is to say, okay, we can break down these barriers. Like it's not as tough as it might seem. I know it's in sand and I know it's outside and whatever, but you give it a try, you're gonna like it, you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna get a lot of touches on the ball. They might have had some experience with 9-person volleyball, gymnasium volleyball, and that's all well and good, but it can be quite boring because you're not active a lot. You're only getting 1 out of 9 hits.
Yeah.
Where in beach volleyball, we play 6-on-6 tops, so you're getting quite a bit more action, and you're more engaged, you're more involved. So we're gonna have to just go up to them in person. Tell these people, don't worry. Like we'll come out, check it out. You'll enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and the clinic's a start. And Gina and I were talking about this when we met in Seoul, and we were saying what we can do is once this starts to build, we can go around the mainland and have these clinics in different places, different beaches. And of course, I can offer it in English, and that's obviously, as you know, that's something that's pretty attractive to a parent.
Yes,
you're getting a sport, you're getting exercise, you're getting it in English at the same time. So these are ideas we've been coming up with to help the sport grow. Because I mean, Joseph, it's a great sport. It's a great atmosphere. If you just give it a try, you're gonna like it. We believe you're gonna like it.
Yes, and I've actually played some beach volleyball in the past.
Right.
And it was just so much fun because it's not so much about, we beat you, but hey, we had a great time playing together.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a special camaraderie that I don't find in the other sports for whatever reason, both for your own team in volleyball and with your opponent. I remember that when I was in high school. I remember when I was in university coaching high school that there was a special bond with volleyball players that you didn't find in any of the other sports. And I'm not a volleyball player myself. I'm a soccer player and hockey player, and I can't say that we had the same kind of bonds that you get while playing, because you're in volleyball. You're so you cannot play by yourself. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's just impossible to play by yourself. On top of that, because it's not a sport where you catch the ball and you can think about it, you really have to rely on your teammates and yourself at the same time. And almost always there's 3 of you involved in any single play. So that's half your team.
Yeah.
And you just develop this great rapport. And if you watch volleyball across the world, at least in the just a slightly bit more competitive level, you'll see they slap 5 with each other after every single play.
Whether you've done well or whether you've made a mistake.
And you don't see that in any other sport, especially what you said right there, the mistakes. Yeah. You just don't see that in any sport. In other sport, the mistakes, you maybe a pat on the back or usually a shrug off and look away. But in this sport, every single time they gather around the middle of the court, they all slap 5 and they go right back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very special sport.
Definitely. I mean, because it really helps with the self-esteem, especially when you make a mistake. You feel terrible, but hey, your team is behind you saying, hey, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Let's just get them on the next time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there's a lot of great camaraderie there. So you guys are doing actually a great plan, I think, for expanding the sport here in South Korea.
Right.
Okay. And of course, the ultimate goal, I think, for the immediate term is to have continual and successful Jeju Furey events.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beach volleyball events.
Yeah.
Now, the Beach Volleyball 7, I believe. That was your largest yet, right?
Yeah,
How many teams came to that one?
We had 34 teams, 204 participants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huge.
And if you contrast that to our first tournament, BVB 1, we had 16 teams in 96. So it more than doubled in 3 years, essentially.
Wow.
Less than 3 years.
Okay, and you had some teams coming from the mainland, too.
Well, we had a group of 4 come from the mainland. We've had teams come from the mainland, all throughout the past 7 tournaments, and this time we had 4 people come from the mainland, and I think they had a good time. I know that one of them, it was her second time around, and she wants to come back in the fall.
Oh, awesome.
I think they all do, actually.
Well, that sounds really good, and I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
Now, you've done a lot as far as promoting beach volleyball and as far as the tournaments go. When we come back from our song break, I want you to tell me, well, maybe just a story.
Sure.
It can be a funny story, it could be a sad story, a touching one, about one of your experiences with the whole volleyball tournaments, as well as with Jeju Furey, because you've been doing such a tireless job with that, and I commend you for that. But right now, we do have to take a little song break here. Okay. So let's play a little Steve Appleton with Seems a Little. And we are back with Dan Nabben, and we're talking Jeju Furey here. So, Dan.
Yeah.
Okay. What has been so far for you the most memorable experience since you've started Jeju Furey?
I've been thinking about that for a while, Joseph. I couldn't say there's one. It's a collection of stories that are similarly themed. For example, there was this girl last year who I met really early on when she came to Jeju, and it turned out she was from my hometown. And I said, "Oh, great! And it's great you've come to a great island, and there's a lot of fun here. And there's in fact, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a bowling tournament, there's a beach volleyball tournament, there's frisbee, whatever." And she said, "Well, I like frisbee, but I don't like beach volleyball, so I'll probably join the frisbee thing and the volleyball." And I said, "Well, you really should reconsider, because the volleyball tournament's it's the big one. It's the one that gets the most people to come out." She says, "No, I don't like beach volleyball. I can't say that. Whatever." So 6 months had gone by, and she ends up playing in the beach volleyball tournament because all her friends had made a team, and it's hard to turn that down. I hope. And then near the end of her year, she later told me that she was just about to quit on Jeju.
Really?
Yep. And she was just about to quit. She didn't like it. She wasn't having a good time. And that beach volleyball weekend that she joined changed her mind. And she said to me that because of that, she had such a good time, and she started really to like Jeju and meet a lot of people and really have a good time. That she decided to stay. And she had left for about half a year, and she's on her way back.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So, and there's another couple. There's another couple that they played in a few tournaments, and then they were going to leave. They finished their contract. They were leaving the country, and they went traveling. And throughout their travels in Southeast Asia, they'd found out that the tournament date got moved, or not so much moved, that just their schedule allowed for them to play in this tournament. They thought they weren't going to be able to, so they decided to change their flights all the way back from Southeast Asia to Jeju to play in the tournament, and went right back home. There's another couple that they said that they'd met at the tournament, and they're now married and have a child. There's actually a couple couples that told me they met at the tournament and gotten married.
Oh,
and,
matchmaker there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly.
So if you're looking for a date.
Yeah. Best friends. People have told me that they met their best friend at the tournament. Stories like that. It's not one particular story, but these kind of things are these great things are happening the weekend of. Another friend of mine said the same thing. She said that it wasn't until this past tournament, the one that happened in May, that her enjoyment, her lifestyle in Jeju completely changed. She had so much more fun since. She's met so many more people and been involved in a lot more activities and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I have to say, as beautiful as an island of Jeju is, and it is gorgeous. I mean, I traveled to one of the caves here just the other day. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I went by myself.
Right.
If you're doing things by yourself on a beautiful island,
right,
something's missing.
Right. Did you find that you're doing it and you're saying, "I wish so-and-so was here to share it," right away?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I was like, my goodness, I wish my girlfriend was here to enjoy this with me. And when you meet a lot of foreigners, when you meet a lot of your friends or people that you can become friends with, that you have a lot in common with, it just sort of opens the door, I think, to enjoyment and to true happiness.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah. So Jeju Furey, now, this was actually founded from a tragedy.
Yeah.
And for our new listeners who might not be familiar with Furey, why don't you give us a brief review of what exactly happened?
All right. In early March 2009, a friend of ours, a friend of the community's, Nathan Furey, got sick he got sick on a Saturday evening, and a week later he passed away. And he was the kind of person that was in excellent health, and he played a lot of sports, but and no one knows why. And all of a sudden, he just got sick, and he passed away. So just before that happened, just before he passed away, we decided, okay, we're going to have a lot of medical bills. Mm-hmm. So a group of us got together, and Jesse and Ange and a group of us got together, and we started to raise some money for that. Mm-hmm. And then when he passed away, we said, okay, let's shift gears. And let's put this money towards the post-secondary education of his two kids. He had two kids, Juno and Noah, 2 and 1 years old at the time. And so we had a goal of 20 million won. Actually, we had a goal of 10 million. That grew up to 16, and then that grew to 20. And at 20, we stopped. And we said, okay, great. We achieved that goal. Mm-hmm. And by that time, it was BVB 3, and people, and it was growing really fast, and people were having a blast. They were telling me this was their favorite weekend of the year. This was so much fun. I said, okay, well, we got to keep this going, but let's follow in Fred Dustin's footsteps and start giving back to the community. So we found a family that lived in the area. We didn't so much, a group did, St. Vincent de Paul, and a family really in need, in dire straits. And we said, okay, let's start sending money that way. And so we started sending money that way, and then the tournament grew some more. And I said, okay, well, now what? Now we got to find another family. So now we have 2 families, one in Iho and one in Nohyang. And of course, the plan is, hopefully to keep providing for these 2 families. And and hopefully we will keep growing. We find more families and find more worthy causes.
That is terrific. I did hear some terrible news, though, and that is at the end of August.
It's not terrible news. I know what you're going to say, Joseph. Yeah, it's not terrible news.
Well, it's terrible news for Furey, I think.
Oh, it's not.
It's not. Oh, yeah. Well, for those listeners who are not too familiar with what's going on and what I'm talking about, Dan Nabben is actually heading back to Canada.
That's right.
And so you're actually going to be going to grad school.
That's right.
So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So it's not terrible news for you, obviously.
No, and not for Jeju Furey either. We have an excellent new, she doesn't like to be called president, but she is the president, Sarah Sokola. She's going to do a much better job than I ever did, and it's headed in a great direction. I think it's and we have Lisa Kelly on board, and we have Han Jian on board, and we have you on board. It's going to be great. I think this thing is going to take off.
I think so as well. Hey, Dan, thank you very much for your tireless efforts. And once again, if you want to sign up for the volleyball clinic, just go to jejufurey.weebly.com. I'm going to put that link up on our Facebook page, so just go to our Facebook page if you just want to maybe check this out. You don't have to sign up, but just take a look at it. Yeah. Anyway, hey, Dan, thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you very much.
We'll see you next weekend.
Thanks for all your support. Thanks for Arirang, all Arirang support, too. It's great.
Hey, we love you, man.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, well, that was Dan Nabben with Jeju Furey. And, to send Dan on his way, let's play a little Weezer and Island in the Sun.